Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by I'm me, Gus.
I'm me, Gavin.
I'm me, Barbara.
I'm me, Andrew.
And I'm me, Gus. Yo, rolled with that pretty quick.
Improv.
All right, that's the show, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week. Man, I ran into, believe it or not, I ran into a douchebag the other day.
Here?
You don't say.
In Austin,
What?
Texas. I was eating at a restaurant, and it's kind of a popular place. Like, normally you have to have reservations, and obviously they were fully booked. This was on Friday night. They were obviously super busy, tons of people coming in and out, and where I was seated, I was kind of close to the hostess station, you know, where people come in and they check in for the reservations and stuff. And I see like this guy and this woman, I guess his date, like this couple, walk in, and they're like looking around the restaurant, and I think, oh, they're like looking for friends or for their table or something. And there's an empty table kind of next to me. And the guy points at it and goes to the hostess, what about that place? Can we sit right there? And I hear the hostess go, no, sir, I told you, we're fully booked. If you want a table, you're going to have to wait an hour.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, and then just like storms out. It's like, so this guy was told at the front there were no tables available. So he goes into the restaurant to find an empty table and says, we'll sit there.
Does he not understand how reservations work?
I don't know.
There's going to be a table that's empty for a bit while the reservation arrives.
Right. I'm sure like maybe they just cleaned it and they're like waiting to seat the other people.
Who knows?
I was like, I can't believe the audacity of this guy to come in, walk around, find an empty table. I'm surprised he didn't just fucking sit in the table.
I thought that's where that was going. That he was just gonna like plop down
Maybe
and be
they-
like,
We'll see
"This
what
is
happens."
mine now."
Maybe there could be a system where you just sit at all the tables between when they get cleaned and before the people arrive, and you just keep moving around as more people arrive.
Like you get your meal comes on a little side table with wheels,
Yeah,
and you just like wheel it
drag it to the
around.
next one. It's a new system.
I am baffled so often at people's lack of awareness in terms of other people's space and just being a good person. Like,
I'm sorry.
Trevor and I were at we were at Disneyland a couple weeks ago, and I feel like, especially amusement parks, you're going to encounter so many people who have no spatial awareness, or the fact that like, oh, my kid is here messing with your shit. I'm not going to bother saying anything. People who don't parent their kids or keep track of them, it's like another thing. But we went to the Star Wars section, Galaxy's
That
Edge.
is the official name. yeah.
Galaxy's Edge.
Did you have a good Star War?
We sure did.
Did you make a lightsaber?
I didn't.
You fool. Sorry.
Genuinely insulted.
I want to go there like just for that.
Just for that?
Yeah.
But we went to the cantina where they had like special Star Wars drinks and stuff like that. And they were very specific, like, okay, you're going to be let in and we're going to put you in a certain spot. And it's mostly standing room and you're going to stand there and that's your spot. And it's going to be a little squishy, but that's kind of how the place is. And so Trevor and I got shuffled in, and there's this family who had like bags and everything with them kind of encroaching on our spot, just in the way of everything. And he and I had to almost like stand back to back to actually like have any room in there. And at one point I was just like, do you mind if I just like push this bag over so I could stand over here to actually like put my drink down? And they're like, oh yeah, oh sure. And then they were still up all in our space, and it was just frustrating.
I hate that.
And then there was a woman today at the gym. Fuck you, bitch, if you're watching this.
Whoa.
She was on this machine where she was doing these like kicks, and she was kicking lengthwise instead of like turning 45 degrees so that we also had room to work on this machine.
Yeah.
And my trainer, Kelly, was like, hey, I'm so sorry. Do you mind if you just like turn this way so we also have space? And she goes, I have poor shoulder injuries, so I'm going to need to use it this way. And my trainer's like, well, actually, you could use it this way and you'll be just fine. And she goes, I'll just be 5 more minutes. And she's like, we're trying to use this machine. If you could just move. And she's just like, I'm almost done. And she, by the way, was not almost done.
Of course not. Of course not.
No, fuck
And
you, Barbara.
Did-
right?
did-
I mean,
Did Kelly beat her up?
She was about to.
Curlers like crush her into a ball, like a medicine ball, and like spin her and toss her away.
I wouldn't mess with her.
No, not at
No,
all.
but she was one of those girls who I think she just liked watching herself in the mirror. And there's like,
was she facing the mirror in the way she was doing it?
yeah, she was watching herself do it and watching her form and stuff like that, which is important, but it's also like
How often do you come across a douche lord like that?
at the gym
Or just in
general?
life? Just somewhere where it's just like,
Well,
man.
ever since Bernie's been gone, it's a lot less.
I feel like the gym is a hotbed for people oblivious to like just agreed upon societal rule, like just like social contract, motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
we have rule. This is a society of laws. And like this happened kind of similarly. Was at the gym, and there's at the gym that I work out at, there's a weight room, and they have one cable machine, and it only has like 2 little stations on it where you can work out, and because there's only one, it behooves everyone to just like, okay, when you're done with your set, when you're going to go over to this exercise. So we keep a rotation going.
The gym is all about sharing space.
Sharing space, negotiating time. Hey, are you done with this? I had one exercise left. I had written down in my book, like had my exercise left. My last exercise is on this cable machine. And these 2 guys just having a blast doing their entire workout together on this cable machine. And I was like, and because, I'm like in the gym, so I'm like kind of like keeping one eye on it. Like, okay, hopefully they're almost done. They must have done like half an hour on this machine. And like I got done, we walked over there and kind of did the real passive aggressive, just like, I'm just
like
going to hover
watching.
while you got, for fuck, yeah, just. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm out
You
of
just
here.
left?
I just left. I didn't do my
won.
last exercise. They won. They won.
That was
beat me.
that was the exercise that was going to do it.
Yeah,
And you were denied. You were this close.
I was
to
going to
being
level
done.
up. I was going to level up. That was going to be it.
The funny thing and the very passive aggressive thing that we did was we still used the machine right next to her. But the weight was going because she was kicking. She basically was kicking backwards. They're called like kickouts or something like that. And I was doing an exercise where I was pulling something down. And it worked out that I would pull down every time she would kick.
I was going to ask if you did that. That's amazing.
So it was like,
It was like all those 4 dudes hitting the same stump with the hammers.
but it was also like, we were definitely giving this girl the stink eye the whole time of just like, you could have literally moved an inch and we would have been okay.
Giving her the stink eye, like in that scenario, makes me think like you were farting in her area.
Well, I do this thing. It's pretty nasty and pretty passive aggressive. I'll recognize that, where I will speak loudly about someone if they're being an asshole. Where I'm just like, man, some people really have no self-awareness or ability to compromise in public spaces. It's really unfortunate.
Just doing this, like, man, there was this bitch at the gym today.
When you're alone, you pretend to get a call. Yeah, I'm just at the gym near this really big piece of shit.
Yeah, no, I don't know what her name is. Hold on. What's your name?
I feel like you can't even avoid douchebags. Like staying in your own house. Look, the thing.
What happened to you?
So, I bought this on Amazon.
It's a Dremel. It's a Dremel Saw Max.
Dremel tool.
Because I thought I could use this for slow-mo guys. It was all shrink wrapped.
It's open a little bit.
I've opened it. I cut some of the cardboard. And I was
Did
like,
you
okay,
cut that
cool.
with a Dremel?
No, I didn't have the Dremel yet. And then I was like, okay, let's see what this is all about.
Watch those beers.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
He opened it and there's 2 cans of Dr. Pepper in it.
This is what I got for $120.
What the
on
fuck?
Amazon.
Are you fucking serious?
What? It came brand new.
It was brand new and like wrapped in plastic and everything. And there was even like a little zip tie on the
Was there any
closey
indication
part.
that this had been
No.
previously?
No,
Really?
like brand new.
Let me see
Those
that.
are $60 each.
Let me see that cardboard.
I am so.
Oh my god, those are ballpark prices for those Dr. Peppers. Jesus.
Do you think the manufacturer was using this case as like a holder for
No,
their
I think
soda?
someone's clearly bought this on Amazon, stolen the Dremel,
Yeah.
and returned it, refund, with 2 Dr. Pepper cans in there.
But then how is it all sealed up?
They probably just added more glue on this, right? Like,
Or they just returned it and Amazon didn't check
Of course they don't.
inside and just repackaged
well, what
it.
I'm saying
Yeah.
is they probably opened it, took the Dremel out, and then just like re-glued this flap down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you can like shrink wrap is not hard to come by. Like you can shrink wrap stuff pretty easy.
What did you do?
So I was customer support and they were like, we're sorry you got the wrong product. Can you send that product back to us and we'll send you a new one? I was like, so you want me to
want the
send you
Dr. Pepper?
2 cans of Dr. Pepper?
Because someone put it in as if it's like the weight is there, right?
Yeah. And they were like, after a while, they were like, you know what? We'll just send you another one.
I just picture some thief at their house in the garage, like measuring the weight of the Dremel to 2 cans of Dr. Pepper, like Indiana Jones in the beginning of Raiders, just like
No, I like to think that the thief has this Dremel and it's awesome. Except it's a huge pain in the ass because they don't have the case now. It's like they can't hold it. They're like constantly struggling with it because they don't have a way to organize the parts.
But I was at home opening this and I wish like you could have seen my face. I didn't know what was happening. I was like, and then I was like looking around, and I was like, wait, how can someone have messed with me like this? What's going on? I didn't know what to do.
To be a fly on the wall in that moment. Wow.
So got another one on the way.
Yeah,
That's
good.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How often does that happen, do you think? People just returning garbage.
Probably like 5 or 6 times a year.
First one of 2020 right now.
5 or 6
I
times.
was legit convinced someone at work was messing with me somehow, but I was like, no one knows I bought this. There's no way.
Did I ever tell you what happened when I ordered a keyboard from a supplier? And I ordered a keyboard and a mouse, and I got the FedEx package delivered. I opened it up, and there was only the mouse in there. And I was like, oh, this is a mistake, because it said the keyboard was in this package, and it's not in here. It said it was delivered. So I contacted them, and I was like, hey, you guys sent me this package. It only had the mouse. Must have been an error. And they said, oh, okay.
What? Don't drink it.
I want Dr. Pepper.
That's someone else's.
It's yours now.
Drink it.
What are you doing?
Yes.
You want a pepper?
No.
Anybody
And,
want?
and now I can't brush it for fingerprints.
It's a really good Dr. Pepper.
That
Well, it
Dr.
should
Pepper,
be. It was $60.
that might have coronavirus on it.
Oh, well. Rip.
And now I can't return it. Damn it.
Yeah, they're gonna
I'm
know
going to
if you.
buy new Dr. Pepper and send
Barbara.
it to Amazon.
I was just trying to have a Dr. Pepper. I wasn't trying to make a big deal out of it like Gavin.
As if he wouldn't make a big deal about you doing that. You knew exactly what you were doing.
So you had a mouse but no keyboard?
A mouse with no keyboard, and they emailed me and said, okay, could you send us a photo? And I said, a photo of no keyboard? And so I just sent them a picture of an empty box. And I was like, as you'll notice, no keyboard.
Send him a picture of an empty box with like a copy of today's paper and a Polaroid.
And then I think I took one of me with the box going,
Yeah, like put some text on it that says keyboard question mark.
question mark? Not in here?
Just like a dotted line around where it should be on a desk. Just
Yeah.
like it's missing from this area.
I guess
right here.
I don't know what they were going for. But listen, they probably have a protocol.
Yeah.
Are you getting another one?
This is gonna go on the set.
Oh, God.
You got an extra one? Thank you.
Is that a
They're
replacement?
gonna know.
I'm going to send this back with 2 completely different cans of Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Like, sir, we need everything that was packaged in it.
Send it back with like
That's your Dr. Pepper right there.
What's the date on it? Is it,
It was
old?
like October 2020 was the expiration date. This one I just got handed has no expiration date. Thanks, Tyler.
Well, it's from a multi-pack probably.
Oh, there it is. November 2020.
So this is like a month old Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
yeah.
What are the chances that the person who did this is watching?
Very low.
Because this was like same day delivery. This was in Austin.
So it's someone here in town?
But I mean, like I feel like with Amazon, probably like, is there a chance it got shipped? Like,
Like, how does that machine work? Is it like,
yeah, does it
Yeah.
like go back into circulation and then get shipped back to like a warehouse here in Austin and then get delivered same day out to you? Like, who knows? I don't know.
I guess I got to appreciate that it is like Dr. Pepper. It's not some sort of
Dr.
HEB
Thunder.
off-brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the real stuff.
They sprung for the good soda, the name brand soda.
the best part is, I don't know if you can pick this up on the camera. The can is like all dented to shit all around here. Like where it's obviously been jostled around in that case. It's all fucked up everywhere.
How much money to lick it?
When I drank it.
Like the entirety of the
I'm not
outside.
looking the side. Oh,
Stop licking at other
You see
people's
it?
Dr. Pepper.
this podcast is not brought to you by Dr. Pepper, by the way.
Well, what's the worst that could happen?
I think it's also very funny. I'm imagining these people, perpetrating this crime, like with the case open, like, all right, just like shoving different things inside the case to approximate the weight. Like, not like, okay, well, what fits, but also approximate the weight. Let me see, like a banana and a cantaloupe. No, it's too big. It won't shut. Just
I
like,
enjoy how in your story it's multiple people involved in this.
oh, that's right. It's a real team.
committee,
It's
yeah.
a real like a Fast Five group of like
Is there-
international thieves.
Is there a way they can track who did that? Do you think?
Amazon?
Yeah.
They could probably
Probably.
find the last person it was sent to.
If they track like individual products on return and on resending,
But is there any special indicator on this box? There's no unique identifier on it.
But within Amazon's system, it must have.
Why?
I don't know.
Like it doesn't matter. They don't need to keep track of an individual Dremel. They need to keep track of how many of this model of Dremel they have. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I'm sure they can narrow it down. I'm sure there's only a select number of people who have returned a Dremel Sawmax to Amazon.
You know, this seems to me like a case for Judge Judy.
Oh, poor Judge Judy.
What?
She's retiring.
Is she really?
The show's ending after 25 years.
Weren't you supposed to?
I'm never gonna get on Judge Judy now.
Damn it.
Yeah, and you sent in that thing and everything?
Yeah, no luck.
Maybe you'll be on the replacement.
I made a Judge Judy audience audition tape.
audience audition tape? I thought you had some sort of like small civil
No.
grievance you wanted settled.
I found out that you have to be in SAG-AFTRA to be in the audience of Judge Judy.
Aren't you in SAG?
And I am in SAG-AFTRA. I was like, oh, I can do this. So I applied. I sent in an audition. You're not supposed to do that. Like I went way over the top. And
Send in a reel.
Yeah.
To be on.
I wonder why they didn't pick me. I don't think we ever posted the whole. Did we ever post the whole thing?
No.
I don't think we did. Get it to me or the social team or whatever.
Me,
We'll
you
post
have
this
it.
week. I'll make Dennis get it to somebody.
Are you trying to get something that's in your department already to you in your department?
No. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Got it.
Yeah, she's
had no idea
retiring
she was
after 25
retiring.
years. Huh?
I mean, she's been doing it for a long time.
Icon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy that show has been on for so fucking long.
25 years?
Yeah, almost as long as The Simpsons.
Jesus Christ. How old is she? She must be in her late 70s, early 80s. That's by now. Maybe I'm way off.
She is.
Judith
Doesn't say.
Shyman.
Dead.
Doesn't say. Actually, the first episode was September '96.
24 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
25 seasons, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, wait, wait. That's
We
how they
cracked it.
That's how they get you.
That's it.
they sneak that extra one in.
Did you see that art piece? It was like a crank that dispensed a penny every like 4.9 seconds or something.
No.
And it is after an hour you get like minimum wage.
The penny every 4.9 seconds.
Yeah.
It's commentary.
Yeah, it was
That-
interesting.
that is really-
because people like start doing it for a while and they realize like how slowly they're getting money, and then they just get demoralized and stop. And it's like, oh, that's minimum wage actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even though like having a job is way more fun than turning a crank usually, but still,
Usually.
it
Sometimes.
was an interesting way to demonstrate
Depends on the
minimum
job.
wage currently in the US.
Yeah, I think. Oh man, I'm only gonna remember this in passing, but someone did a breakdown of the average cost of a doctor's visit in perspective to like minimum wage, like how long you have to work at a minimum wage job in order to be able to afford a doctor's checkup. And I want to say, off the top of my head, it was 43 hours
Duh.
of
Just to-
work.
For a checkup?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and they were calculating post-tax, like after taxes are withheld and everything.
I'm assuming someone with no insurance.
Right.
So that's it's a
There's
week
copay.
then.
Yeah.
Right. You have to work a week to afford that.
Yikes.
Seems like an untenable situation. Seems like the kind of thing that's ripe for
Changing.
ripe for some kind of change.
Was it South Korea who was giving out all the free corona testing?
Did you see that video?
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like people doing it in their
In
car?
their cars.
Yeah. But
then-
you can drive up and they go, here, blah, blah, blah.
I'm not sure how true it is, but I think the US was charging $3,000 for the same test.
And it didn't work.
And it didn't work.
I feel like I'm in the wrong country for this outbreak.
It's
no
pure
one's
evil.
gonna go get tested because they can't afford to go.
I read a
It's the worst.
really awful article that someone wrote about the coronavirus about this guy who traveled somewhere and returned home and wasn't feeling very well. And apparently he went to the doctor, he went to I think the hospital even, and they tested him for everything except the coronavirus. They tested him for everything and it came back negative. And so he had to go home and self-quarantine himself because no one would be able to give him this test. No one, everyone refused to give him the coronavirus test.
But wasn't it like a higher level than that hospital? Like they were told not to do the test? Or
I don't
something?
know. I forget what the article said, but his girlfriend had to go stay in a hotel for a couple weeks while he self-quarantined himself.
I'm pretty sure the hospital was like, it's probably coronavirus, but we can't test you for it. Or we won't test you for it for whatever reason. But act like you've got it.
But I guess I'm just confused. Like, if you do travel or you do feel like there's some way you could have contracted it, what do you do? Is there any information on who to call, where to go, anything like that in the States?
I think you just like self-quarantine and try to ride it out or go to a better hospital.
Like, but there has to be information on a protocol or instructions on what to do. Because that fucking freaks me out. Of just not having anywhere to go or any instructions on how to figure out if you have it or get care.
Yeah.
So I'm looking up the story you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I guess they ran all these tests on him. It was in New York, and they wanted to run the coronavirus test on him. Then, per the protocol, they called the CDC to clear it, and the CDC said no, that he wasn't sick enough.
What does that mean? And
What does that mean?
It's like good to find
human
that
person said that as a response? Like, I get like, you know, a company or someone can have a policy, but there was a human who was like, he's not sick enough. Don't test him.
Like, wouldn't you want to get the virus sooner rather than later?
Yeah, maybe the control part of CDC, the second C in CDC, control.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, let's wait until he's on the verge of death and then do something about
So
it.
then, after he was sent home, I guess this article looks like seems like it's been edited. Like it seems like there's some information that's been removed. Like they didn't do a final pass on it, so they're saying something. I'm gonna assume that this guy was in Japan.
Okay.
All they say at first is that he was somewhere overseas. Then later in the article, they say after he was sent home, the CDC added Japan as a country of concern where people should be able to get tested for coronavirus. So after he heard that, he called the hospital again, and they said that because he wasn't hospitalized, he can't get the test. So they discharged him. He became a candidate for the test. He called the hospital, and they said they wouldn't test him because he wasn't
Not hospitalized. So it's just concerning to me that there is nothing like set in stone laid out for you.
Hospitalized.
So should I if I feel like I have something, should I
shut
break my
yourself
foot?
down the stairs? Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go to the hospital.
I think I have a coronavirus. I'm going to go reach for a cups gun. Like, I think that's what I'm going to do. See if I can get hospitalized real quick. Get a test.
Time to learn blindfolded knife juggling today. See how it goes.
Let me play with my new Dremel.
Let me
Damn it, it's 2 cans of Dr. Pepper.
Let me drink half my Dremel and I'll be right in.
Drink a Corona, you'll be fine.
They're suffering, aren't they, Corona?
People are.
I bet.
I think that was a misleading headline.
Yeah, it probably was, but it's still
I think
kind
that
of
headline was, but I think their sales are low.
I think they were already suffering pre-virus.
Oh, okay. So it's nothing to do with the virus.
Right. I think people were already not drinking Corona, and then someone decided to correlate that to coronavirus and wrote a shitty article, like a shitty clickbaity article. Yeah. People are being weird. Obviously, people are strange animals. Like all this stockpiling of hand sanitizer and face masks. I think I heard that some HEBs here in town were like there were runs on bottled water. Like, what do people think is happening?
I know.
I read someone make a very frustrated tweet last night or this morning that said, the coronavirus, as the name implies, is a virus. Hand sanitizer is an antibacterial. Antibacterials do not kill viruses. Wash your hands.
yeah.
Yeah. Soap and water.
Isn't there also something about how too much antibacterial is actually ineffective?
Yeah, but like
it becomes ineffective?
Hand sanitizer is like an alcohol-based thing. It's not quite the same.
Okay.
Yeah, but you do. I mean, I know what you're talking about. There are some medicines that you run the risk of like creating superbugs.
The thing that bothers me the most is the face mask thing. Apparently, they're being sold out everywhere. Like Amazon is charging like $300 for a set of like 20 masks or something like that because of the demand.
If you get them.
If you get them. But the problem is masks are for people who are already sick.
Right.
They're not going to stop you from
Getting sick.
getting sick.
Right.
And just seeing people wearing those when I'm like, are you sick? And they're like, no.
I guess the one thing you could say positive is that if you're wearing a mask, you're not going to touch your mouth or your nose as much.
Sure.
Like it'll block. I'm on your side. It's dumb to be making runs on them and wearing them.
They're for people who are sick.
Correct.
If you're scared of getting sick, wash your hands and don't touch your mouth or eyes. Eyes are another thing that people are forgetting about too.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, coronavirus could be spread pretty easily through the eyes too.
What about
Really?
vag?
You know, Probably. I think if
Mucous membranes, right?
if you're
Yeah.
close enough with someone that they're touching your vag, you're probably gonna get.
Well, I mean,
it.
you can
did
touch
you-
your
did-
own vag, though.
Could.
Always wear a vag mask. It's just underwear.
There was a video I saw online of this guy who thought that pads were worn on the vagina, not like attached to the underwear,
Or like you stick them to your
Yeah.
undercarriage.
because he was talking to a girl saying like, how are you going to go pee? Like, you have to take off your pad, don't you? She goes, no, I could go pee with a pad still on. And he goes, how do you do that? Isn't it blocking? She's like, it's not stuck to my vagina.
Yeah, I get. I mean, I don't
You
know.
guys all knew this, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
That's why I'm like puzzled that anybody would think this.
Yeah, I feel like I've known that the whole time, and I don't even remember learning that.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, did he like skip sex ed or something? I don't know.
Did you see the guy who was using like a pad as an impromptu mask?
Yeah.
Like he had just like taped it to his face to like try to protect himself from coronavirus.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's people are getting weird.
What if tampons were on the underwear? Just stuck right up.
Yeah.
Just absorbing right there.
No, like you have
Like-
to.
Oh, like every time you pull your underwear up, it shoves itself back in your vagina? That'd be very uncomfortable.
But convenient.
Yeah.
No,
It,
I think it's bad.
it just like it sits on the underwear like a T-ball tee. Just like,
Yeah, listen to the men tell you what you need, Barbara.
Just sitting here just pegging myself over and over again.
Let's mansplain how this works to you.
God, getting it back up after you've pulled it out must be
Impossible?
No, you,
Yeah.
you throw
Yeah.
it away and
Like putting
you throw it away and you get a fresh pair.
right.
I taught myself how to use a tampon like the day after I got my period for the first time when I was like 12 years old. Because I was like, I'm not dealing with pads my whole life. I gotta teach
why not?
myself. Because for me, tampons are a little more convenient and less messy. Pads, it's
More
like,
invasive though,
well, yeah, it gets shoved up your.
and people have
BB.
died from them.
Yeah, because they're not doing it right. They don't listen to instruction.
wait, are you talking about like toxic shock?
Toxic shock syndrome, yeah. It's when you wear it too long.
Way too long.
Way too long.
Like wait, like
Like-
crazy too long.
Like multiple days.
Yeah.
Type thing.
There was a
Ew.
really disgusting today I fucked up a few weeks ago on Reddit that
Please.
involved something along those lines. I won't get into the exact details, but it was really awful to read.
Do they expire?
I think so.
Like, would you put up a 50-year-old tampon? Did they even have them 50 years ago? How old is a tampon?
Generally speaking, tampons expire after 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Is that the title of this podcast? How old is a tampon?
Even though they may not look any different than brand new ones, expired tampons shouldn't be used. Bacteria and small particles of mold can find their way into your tampons after they've expired. This is from tampax.co.uk. They're incentivized to make you want to buy more tampons.
Yeah.
So make sure you do your own independent research
Yeah,
about tampon
exactly.
expiry dates.
But yeah.
Store them dry.
Store them in the fridge.
in the freezer.
Yeah, can
Do
you
they keep
freeze
longer?
them?
They're like
Freeze them?
batteries. Just Barb is not having this.
No.
If you
Cold
put
tampon.
a frozen tampon into your hoo-ha and it defrosts, the gradual temperature change could introduce vaginal cooties into your precious uterus.
Vaginal
I would not trust this source.
I would say maybe just store them in a nice dry place like a cupboard or a cabinet or on top of your toilet.
A bag or purse of some kind.
Yep.
Yahoo Answers is a treasure trove that should be protected forever.
The
should have
blind
a-
leading the blind. Yahoo Answers.
Is
It's
it safe
fantastic.
to freeze tampons before using them? I want to do this in the summer when it is hot outside.
How
How
you
get your
that-
body temperature down?
are you that hot that you need to shove an ice cold tampon into you to cool off?
Well, maybe that's where they get the hottest.
I mean, it is a hot area of the body, but
Have you ever looked at yourself completely naked with a thermal camera?
Oh my god. It's not you. It's I'm down
that's not the
a
worst
rabbit
thing.
hole over here.
for some reason I thought, Gavin, you were going to say, have you ever looked at yourself completely naked with just your tampon string hanging out? I don't know why my head.
No, that's graphic, Bob.
Yes. Yes, I.
With you say with an infrared camera?
No. Yeah.
Heat sense.
like
Thermal
thermal.
cam.
I don't have a thermal
Predator
camera.
vision.
Do you?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm lacking in
I also have a lot
technology
of
now.
camera equipment that most people don't have, though.
Yeah,
to be
so
fair.
the general question, if you ask that to anybody, the general reply is going to be, no, I don't have a thermal imaging camera.
It clips into my phone.
Oh yeah, they're not that expensive either. Like the
They're
ones that
actually-
clip in your phone are like
they're not bad.
Like
They're not bad.
couple $100 or something.
Little flare ones.
Yeah.
Ah!
There was,
Yeah.
What's up?
but yeah, I don't know when you got there. The thing I winced at before you asked that question. I doubt this is medically sound. Do not do this. I found a blog article that says natural yeast infection cure that actually works. Frozen yogurt tampons.
Okay, here's where
Like good bacteria? Like
Yeah,
like
you-
shoving a Yakult up you?
Yeah. Exactly. A Figus, a Yoplait. No, yeah, because I mean, there's the good, yeah. They have natural cultures, so they're good for like
Gut health.
gut health. But I don't. But that's
It's like
not
your
a
lower,
part of the gut.
It's like your lower gut.
That's what I refer to my vagina as. My lower gut.
You never say to Trevor,
Mommy
hey,
hungry.
you never say to Trevor, hey, you want to get up in my guts?
Yeah, you can be you can be up to your nuts and guts for sure.
That's right. Yep.
No,
That's it. We've arrived.
That's a common phrase.
No more pitches.
I think that's a James Buckley line in Between Us.
That's
To
right.
your nuts and guts. Up to your
Yeah.
Up
Yes.
to your,
up to your nut.
like you're all the way into your nuts in the woman's guts.
Okay. For some reason, I went up to your guts and nuts.
How would that work?
That's wrong.
Up to
To your guts. That means
That's
you're
a
just
lot
in
of nuts.
you're in a pool of nuts.
Yeah.
Just pinch them in and shove them in.
Over to you, Jordan.
Anyway, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
When did you get here? Like I just turned around and you were there.
I've been here the whole time. No, you guys were talking about putting some sort of tampon up and then yogurt. I don't know.
So you weren't here the whole time.
Who knows
No, I
anymore,
wasn't.
Jordan?
I guess, but like now seems like a good time for me to jump in and announce this cool thing we got going on next month.
In the industry, we call that a segue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't give me much to work with. If you like jamming things up in places, you'll love the animation jam we did.
Jesus.
Anim Jam.
You may have heard of things like game jams and Titmouse's 5-second week, but we decided to do one for Rooster Teeth. We got some of our 2D team and the Death Battle crew to split up into teams, and they had 1 week to make an animated thing from start to finish. And so for Anniversary Week, we're releasing each one the whole week.
How many are there?
There are 5.
Ooh.
5 teams of 5.
You like
Five
things that have the
episodes.
word jam in it, don't you?
Yeah, we've been pitching this idea before Face Jam happened. Also, speaking of Face Jam, if you like jamming things in your mouth, we are doing a live stream of our Snack Attack segment
Damn, look
on
at you.
Friday at 3 p.m. on roosterteeth.com. There will be a on-demand afterward, though.
Snack
But
Attack.
Watch it. We're going to do 1-bite reviews of all the snacks that people sent in to Eric and are taking over his desk. That's all I have to plug. The Anim Jam, Face Jam, jam it up.
How
jam
long
it up your butt.
are the animation jam?
They vary.
projects?
It depends on the scope of the project. So we didn't give them any guidelines or anything.
But like the
so-
things that we're going to be showing, like
but
how long?
they're going to average from like 90 seconds to like 3 minutes. I think the longest one's about 3 minutes.
Nice.
Like, yeah. Some of the more complex ones had to be shorter.
I can't believe they did that in a week. Like if you gave
Oh,
me
yeah.
a year to do 3 minutes of animation, you wouldn't get it.
No.
Like, I'd be like, I can't figure it out. It's not happening.
People much more talented and skilled than we are.
What,
wait to
what,
see
do
it.
you want to talk about, Jordan? You can't just show up and just plug
yeah.
things. It's like you ever watch a talk show at night? It's like they talk about something, they tell a funny story, and they're like, hey, why are you here? Let's talk about that thing.
What are some of the things you guys have been talking about besides tampons and
Well, you know,
lower
Pretty
guts?
much
Coronavirus.
Yeah, I figured that would be up there.
People not having spatial awareness
Oh boy.
or consideration for other human beings in the world.
I
How-
spent-
you just got back from Disneyland. That's why you're thinking about that. Huh?
wow. That's exactly it.
I fucking hate going. Like,
Have you-
I love Disneyland, but I hate all the people there because
Yep.
Have you been to the Star Wars Disney thing yet, Jordan?
yes,
Fuck you.
Did you make a lightsaber?
Galaxy's Edge.
I did not make a lightsaber.
Fool.
There you go.
Oh no,
Did you go
I'm not
to
going to spend $250 on a toy.
Oh, is that how much they are?
Yeah, they're super
Yeah,
expensive.
what do you think they cost? It's
I don't know.
Disneyland.
I thought it
I've
was free. I
never
thought you
been.
like got one with your admission.
It's a banana,
got
Michael. What
4.
could it cost? $10?
Oh,
you go-
also, I spent $120 on 2 cans of Dr. Pepper.
Do you want a sip of a $60 Dr. Pepper?
Why?
Say yes, take a drink.
It's worth
No,
every
what's
penny.
wrong with it? Why is it in a case?
Because it's a $60
Why is it in a
Dr.
Dremel
Pepper.
case?
When this podcast gets released, just watch the first 10
Is this
minutes.
one of like the Dublin Dr. Peppers? Or is there something wrong with it?
No,
What,
dog,
what do you think has happened, Jordan? If you had to guess,
It's full of pee. I don't know.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm drinking this other one over here. You can see
It doesn't make me feel better.
It had two.
And I
it
don't
had
trust
two in the
anyone.
case.
I don't trust any one of you,
okay, that's fair.
Fair enough.
especially because of the case.
Yeah, if you had to guess what the story is just based off this information you have here, what would you say happened?
It's radioactive.
Yes, because that's what you know you do. You put radioactive stuff in a Dremel case.
In a plastic Dremel case.
without a lock.
And
Don't
there are
worry.
two, like the two keys you use to turn
If
on
only they had Dremels at Chernobyl,
It's not the golden
crisis
eye.
would have been averted.
Yeah, they just put all the graphite in a
In the
Dremel
graphite
case.
in the Dremel case, yeah.
That would have solved it. Did you do the cantina at Galaxy's?
Yeah, that place rules.
So I had a question when you mentioned the cantina earlier.
Yeah.
Does the cantina serve alcoholic drinks?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
yeah, you can get fucked up real quick there.
Yeah, there's a drink that Trevor had that had this foam on it that would
The
numb
fuzzy tauntaun.
and like tingle your mouth, fuzzy tauntaun. And they're like, don't inhale or like sniff it or anything like that because
Yeah.
it will fuck you up.
Yeah, if
real
you
bad.
touch it, it like numbs your finger. So
Yeah.
it like numbs your lips and stuff. It was the first drink I got. It was great.
It was really good. Yeah.
This-
A lidocaine based drink?
Yeah.
Like what's
I
don't
think
know
they
what it
used
was made
Szechuan
of.
peppercorn.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, because that
Okay.
has a numbing effect, I think.
Ooh,
It was tasty.
I don't know. Disney food blog. Look it up.
That's good to know.
Thanks.
Wait, is the Disney thing only in?
They're in both.
Is it in both now?
Yeah, I've been to
Disney
both
World
now.
and Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one's better?
Oh, it's hard to compare.
Just
But
the Star Wars thing.
just the Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Disney World's always bigger. That one has a little more room. So
Which one did you go to?
Disneyland.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so less room.
But we,
Disney Hollywood Studios.
Is Rise of the Resistance the ride? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
the
in both.
same? The
Yeah,
exact same?
it's the exact same. So I've been on both both parks now too. So
It's incredible, by the way.
yeah,
That
it
ride
is amazing.
phenomenal.
The first time you go on it, like I don't know, without spoiling it, you go on like one part of the ride and you think it's the ride,
yeah.
and then the doors open and you're in completely other space and you don't know how you got there.
Yeah.
And it's totally immersive. It's,
Every single
it's
person
insane.
who was on that you get on a ship essentially,
Yeah.
and then you get off and you're somewhere else. Every single person, when the doors open, was like, "Whoa!" There's like an audible
Yeah.
gas.
I'm
So
still
it's a
trying to
magic
figure out
trick.
how they did it. Like I don't know how they get you from outside to inside this big space.
Yeah.
With like, I thought they were gonna it was gonna be obvious that they turn you around or that the doors behind you open. but
Very
nope.
slow moving elevator, very slow moving platform.
I don't
It's
know.
possible,
I
but
don't know. It's
I mean,
tricky.
obviously.
I think they slowly turn you around because there are some like flight
Jostles.
simulator mechanics to the first part. I don't know. I'll figure it out though.
You'll crack this case wide open.
Yeah.
Just got to go on a couple more times.
I gotta watch the Imagineering story.
yeah. It's true.
All right. You got anything else, Jordan?
Nope. Just watch Face Jam, Anim Jam. We'll come up with something else that has jam in it, I guess.
Come on
excited.
and slam.
Peanut butter jam?
Bye.
Gonna jam on out of here?
Bye, Jordan.
It's always good to see Jordan.
Yeah.
Like the one time a year. I see
Are
him.
we gonna have
Funny.
lunch with Jordan this week?
Oh yeah, we are, right?
Yeah.
Are we?
Oh, is lunch crew getting back together?
I think we're doing a lunch.
When are we doing
I think
it?
we finally were able to
Thursday.
get something on. No, I have a meeting on Thursday at lunch.
Whoever fucking sent this invite out, I hate you. Who sent this invite?
Who do you think sent that invite, Gus?
Why are there 70 invitees?
What invite?
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
This is ridiculous.
Shut it down.
That's next Thursday.
What are you doing?
I had a meeting next Thursday that's called. Can I say it? I guess I can say it.
Yeah.
It's called Bi-Weekly Network Meeting.
Yep, there are 69 people in that meeting.
And I thought that was it. But the lunch meeting is titled Sync Regarding Format Reactivation.
I wouldn't want to go to either
Oh
of that.
man, let me get out my checkbook. That sounds fucking amazing.
You still haven't used your meeting yet, by the way.
Oh, I'm aware.
Oh shit.
Wait.
So on the podcast a couple weeks ago, I don't know why he did this, but Gavin agreed to fill in for me on a meeting of my choice.
I heard about yes. Yes.
So
Well, you said you were going to too many meetings, and I was like, let me help you out.
I should send you to one of those bi-weekly network meetings with the 69 people.
God.
But
How do
you
you
ha-
even fit? That's not all in one
The
place,
best part
is it?
though is that I have to present at that meeting, so
Oh, Just give me the PowerPoint. I'll do it blind. I played that. What was that game where you pitch an idea? The Jackbox game? I don't remember the name of it.
Keep talking and nobody explodes?
No. It's like where you have to, it's like you come up with like a slogan and something like that, or like a catchphrase.
Yeah, the chat will let me know in about 4 minutes when it catches up. We just played it. We played it with Afro. I don't know.
Jackbox.
Yeah, send me to a meeting.
Okay.
Are you going to like save it throughout the year? Like when do you think you're going to use? Like how long is this offer good for? I forget.
All year.
All
so
year.
it's. I think you actually said one meeting a year. So I think it means each year. I get to pick one.
I thought I said one meeting this year.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, there's a way to find out.
We'll have to review the tape.
Go to the tape.
Go to the tape.
And broadcast. I will do that one time.
Deal.
You can use me on one meeting per year.
Deal. That is a verbal agreement. But he said, what was it? I think up to 90 minutes was the criteria.
If the meeting goes longer, you have to tap back in.
No, I just,
All right, I'm back.
I just walk out and like Barbara's officially left that meeting after 90 minutes.
Yeah. No, like I can't send him to a meeting that's like one of those like 2 or 3 hour meetings.
Yeah.
Which there are plentiful.
Patently stupid. That's the one.
Aha.
Thank you, chat.
Sunday driving. PowerPoint karaoke. Is that something? Is that a game? I don't know what that is. I saw it in the chat.
I'm sending a tweet over to you guys in the control room. I want to bring this up.
Do you ever get de-stressed if you're sat next to someone on a plane who's doing business and you glance all their business on their laptop and it looks really stressful and there's like spreadsheets and shit?
I don't get stressful because I don't have to worry about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It like makes me the opposite of stress because I'm just like, whew.
Don't
Well,
be
some
that.
of us like spreadsheets.
That's true.
I definitely get that. Like if I go to like a coffee shop or something and I see someone like with textbooks out doing math, I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Lord. Oh Jesus.
Don't have to do that
Oh
anymore.
my God, I'm so glad I'm not doing that.
Or just
It's such a
homework.
relief. There's something about, I guess it's like some sort of Schadenfreude or whatever, where it's, if I see someone rushing through an airport and I'm not in a hurry, it makes me feel happier. But that's really shit because that person's freaking out about missing a plane.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
I'm just like, oh my God, I'm glad that's not me right now.
It's always weird the different speeds, the different airport speeds that exist.
Yeah.
Like some people are just casually walking along, and some people are running literally as fast as they can.
And I've done that. I've done the full tilt sprint, even to the point where it's like, if I drop something, I'm not even going to pick it up.
I've done that. Mhm.
Because you just, it's like, this is
Just a real Home Alone. Just dun, 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 all the way across the airport. Definitely done it.
it's like bags everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you ever get like
Talk boy flew
the
out.
secondhand embarrassment though when someone like at a restaurant knocks over a tray of glasses or something like that? Just to like,
I've learned that in
God,
America,
that sucks.
there's no word for that. Like, okay, in England, if you're at a restaurant and someone drops all their shit, everyone in there will say the same word. But here, there isn't a word.
What is the word?
What is the
wait,
word?
wait. Should we guess what the word is?
yes. All right. So if you're like, oh, he blanked it, or he,
I would say,
no,
like,
no, you
I would say
just-
like everything falls and everyone exclaims knobbers.
I was gonna say chuppins.
I'm gonna say, oh, bulged it.
Oh, chuppins.
No.
What?
If I was in a place, I would say, along with most of the people in there, "Way!"
That's not a word.
It doesn't matter if it was. You said
Way.
nobbins or what?
Knobbers, which is a word.
Knobbers.
That's what you say when someone drops glassware at a restaurant. You say knobbers.
Look, it's coming in the chat. That was before I said it. Way! I don't know why that is. I grew up with it. It's not weird to me. And
But that makes you feel better about it, right? Because then it's just like, oh, that sucks,
in my
man, but
opinion,
you're good.
it calls out the thing, fills the awkward silence
Yeah.
with like a cheery
That's right. Yeah.
sound, and then everyone just goes straight back to their bevs or whatever they were eating or anything.
That's better.
When we do Master Pancake shows at the Draft House, occasionally we'll be like, there'll be a nice like perfect like moment of silence, just a gap in like dialogue or in jokes or whatever, and a glass will break, and it's almost more often than not just Mazel Tov. You just like that's the nice like
L'chaim.
yeah, exactly. We just get a nice little break there. Just ease the awkwardness of like, oh man. I remember we did one show and someone dropped a bucket of beer, and so you heard clang clang clang, ka-tunk,
Going down
going down.
Oh, beer bottles.
The beer bottles. Yeah,
For some
yeah,
reason, I was
bucket of beer.
picturing a bucket of loose beer, like the liquid,
It's like a milking bucket.
like
of just
Kevin in the office with his chili.
Yeah.
a bucket. Yeah, a real trough. Bring me the trough. No, yeah, they had like a bucket of beer, and I guess like kicked it over something. So you heard ice go everywhere, and then one of these was like a bottle of beer just clink, clink, not break, but continue to roll down. It's just like, oh, this is nice. This is good.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, real good stuff.
I will to go back to your point of like seeing someone on a plane doing work and getting secondhand stress. I had the opposite of that, where it wasn't someone doing work, but I was getting stressed out. There was a woman on my flight who was across from me in the aisle, and she got on the flight with a full coffee cup, and she fell asleep like right after takeoff holding the coffee cup.
That's a time bomb.
And it was like kind of leaning up against her leg.
Was it the kind with like the little sippy hole on
Yeah.
it? Okay.
And the whole time I couldn't stop watching because it was kind of like 45 degrees or so. And like the flight was shaking and this was kind of wobbling. And I was like, God, she's going to take like one little bump or jostle, or for her to actually like let go because you're asleep and you're going to go limp at some point, right? And so I was just watching that coffee cup the whole time. And luckily she woke up and put it on the tray. But man, that was
limp.
I don't know if I could fall asleep like that.
holding something.
Yeah, like I would be like, oh no, put that.
Usually if you're holding something, you should go limp when you fall asleep.
I mean, not me. I stay firm
Nice.
the entire time I'm asleep. My doctor is very concerned.
About how rigid you are during your sleep.
It's the only time you could get hard when
Nice.
you're asleep. How inconvenient.
I'm thinking like
Sounds like a terrible superpower.
I understand that, like, feel like how much, this is where what you were saying, Gavin, like how much of when you see somebody doing something like really, when you see someone else doing something stressful, like work or like running to catch a plane or doing something that like, it's like how much of my gratitude is like, because I would consider that gratitude. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not in that position. But how much of my gratitude is based on someone else's suffering? Like how much does it have to do in relation to others' like
yeah.
circumstance?
There was 0.5% of me that kind of wanted the coffee to spill.
0.5, you lying toad. It was way higher than that.
What was the real number, Barbara?
50%. All right.
So much higher.
Half of me.
Wow.
Half of me
Like
wanted it
100
to
times
happen.
higher.
Yes.
Although 100% of me wanted it to happen at the end of the flight when this bitch gets up, throws her backpack on, it hits me in the side of the arm. She doesn't even fucking acknowledge it. And I was just
And
standing there
then
going,
she was at the same gym as Barbara using the machine next to her.
and then she was at Disneyland with her fucking kids. I'm just kidding. She wasn't. But I bet she was the type.
I saw while we were talking, Adam Baird sent me an amazing tweet that I sent to the control room. I don't know if they have it prepped, you can bring it up.
That seems to be
Is that a
some piece of meat cooking on a processor.
Right, the processor's so hot
It's
that they're cooking a little piece of meat on it.
Well, it's like spam.
No, it looks like a little piece
no,
of
that's
beef.
beef, yeah.
Oh, that's a brisket. That's brisket.
Does that actually help with cooling?
Well, the meat's cooler than the CPU, so it's taking the heat away, right?
Right, but is that better than just air?
No.
Or, like not having a cooler?
I doubt it. I doubt there's any value to this demonstration other than to show how hot it gets.
I wonder if someone could set up an entire water-cooled loop, but it's just meat fat and juice.
Or what if you like set it up so you sous vide with the
Yeah, exactly.
Bits of meat floating
with the
through it.
water?
There's got to be a restaurant that opens up at some point with
And they're mining Bitcoin with all the
Yeah.
processor. It's like
but it's like what's it called? Korean barbecue, where you cook your own
Yeah.
food on like the hot or like hot rock when you do that.
Right.
But it's just for a bunch of computer nerds who are like just cooking on CPUs.
I like it.
I watch so many tech videos about just insane crap that I'll never do with my computer. Like, have you ever done water cooling?
I've never have no.
I've never done it, and it seems like it's not too difficult anymore. But then I'm watching videos like Jay's 2 Cents doing all these like hard pipe loops and all
Yeah.
this shit, and I have no intent on ever touching any of that stuff, but I can't stop watching the videos.
It's super cool.
It's so addictive, and I don't even know why.
I think I saw at CES some company was selling this fluid that is it's safe to put electronics in. So it's like you could put your entire motherboard and everything into it, and it would cool it all. And they
What?
show like the liquid's like bubbling, and you can see that it's dissipating the heat away from your internal components. But like there was no need for a fan because
the
liquid was absorbing it all.
it's like that like matrix goo that they like set you in.
Yeah,
inside the pod, inside those like pods.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, super weird. But you gotta hope like you don't spring a leak in your computer. The memory leak takes on a whole new problem. Speaking of computers, I saw something super dumb earlier. You know, the Mac Pro, the new Mac Pro, you can buy wheels if you want to put it on wheels to keep it under your desk to be able to move it around more easily. Wheels cost $400 if you want to buy the Apple-made wheels for your Mac Pro.
That's $100 per wheel.
$100 a wheel. That's some quick math you did there. Quick maths you did there. And I guess like the reviewers are starting to talk about these wheels, and they realize that there's no lock on the wheels. So it's like if your floor's uneven, your computer's just gonna roll away from you, or there's no way to like keep it stationary once you put it on the wheels.
I'm gonna make
What are
the
they
assumption
thinking?
that if you
They look
are in
cool.
a position where you could afford one of those computers and the $400 wheels, you probably have straight floors.
Or you can just afford for your computer to occasionally roll away. Just replace it with another one.
I want to see someone with that has like little napkins wedged under there to like, I gotta have those there. Otherwise my computer rolls away.
I was fully expecting Apple to be like, we'll roll out a firmware update. You can lock the wheels in system preferences or something like that.
Or what if like in California, like there's an earthquake and your computer rolls away from you, like you gotta go chasing it?
And starts the first act of a Disney film. Just like, it's the computer that rolled across the country.
And that's how Skynet formed.
I'd be willing to bet that they're going to start selling like a mat or something that comes with it to keep it more.
How much will that
The Mac
cost?
Pro.
The Mat Pro.
That was excellent.
That was excellent. Yes.
No, that's like a third party, like some OEM in China's gonna be like, we need to make a mat.
Yeah.
Keep the Mac Pro in place.
I don't think any third party will make anything for those wheels because just don't buy the wheels.
Right.
It's easier to not buy them.
Right.
Unless there's a market for people who bought wheels and then thought, shit.
Yeah.
Does it come with the original stumps that the wheels replace? If you're paying $400, do you get your old...
Well, I think you keep the stumps. I think you put the wheels in yourself. I don't know now.
I'm putting in my own $400 wheels?
Can you buy the wheels? I gotta look. If you can buy
There are wheels on real cars for less.
Why can't you
Seriously.
just buy like one of those little dolly things, but like a small version that you
Like
put
a little
your
like,
computer on?
yeah, ones that like
Like one of those little scooter things.
like a little mop bucket sits on. One of those
Yeah.
little like
what
rolling
the
things.
fuck are you sending me?
Why not just put your computer on the floor? And then if you need to move it, just lift it up.
See, these are all the great questions.
Whoa!
Because like I love that the idea is like people are complaining that the wheels don't lock. It's like, look, we made these for the very specific market of people who wanted a computer that could move a little. Sometimes when we wanted them to. It's a very
Like, yeah, I get it. There are people going to be like taking those to various places, wheeling them through. It's a lot more convenient than packing a Mac Pro in a case and all this shit. But
yeah. I mean, is it?
I don't know.
So like because like where would you be? I'm like wondering what the like use case is for this. Like
For wheels?
for wheels in general. Yeah, I'm an extreme luddite. No, like for having wheels on like a Mac tower. Like how often are people like just like, oh, I need to take this over into that room?
Is
So
it maybe
let me
someone
answer
who
your
like wants to plug something into it and needs to like turn it around every now and then?
Let me answer your question. I'm looking for these wheels on the Apple website. And the only way you can find them is if you go to like click, like you want to buy a Mac Pro. You go through all the customization options, and there's a section that says feet or wheels. And under it says, do I need wheels for my Mac Pro? And it's a link you can click on, and I'm clicking on it to find out.
Just a white page that says no.
Customize your Mac Pro to have stainless steel frame with wheels, which is ideal for moving your Mac Pro quickly and easily without having to lift it.
Those are that's the definition of wheels for anything.
Those
quickly and easily move this thing without having to lift it. That's a wheel, baby.
And then the explanation for feet. The standard Mac Pro has a stainless steel frame with feet, which is a good option if you don't need to move your Mac Pro away from your workspace very often. They're explaining the stumps on the bottom of a computer.
Do they explain the other stuff? Like, do I need 10 or 16 cores? I bet there's no thing for that.
Let's scroll back up and see. Which processor is right for you? 8 core.
Is there a
Clover
BuzzFeed
16?
quiz that could determine which type of processor you are?
There should be.
What if the Mac Pro?
I'm Gryffindor and I need an 8-core processor. That's what I learned.
I'm also the cast of Friends. And the color yellow.
I mean, could they just make a wheel with a Mac Pro in it? The whole thing's just a wheel.
That seems really not good.
Well, they made one that was the shape of a bin once.
Yeah, they did. They
Yeah,
made
that went wonderful.
Yeah, so just tilt that over. And there you go. That's a wheel with a computer in it.
I remember when that one came out, the one that looks like a Dyson like bin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh man, this is crazy. Like everyone's gonna listen. I know like 4 people who got them. I haven't known anyone who got one of those Mac towers that looked like a bin and liked them. I think they were one of the worst computers ever made, apparently.
Pretty bad.
I had
Pretty
one.
fucking bad.
I had one provided by this here company. It was the worst computer I've ever used.
What made it bad?
It just didn't work. It was just shit. It just crashed all the time, and you couldn't.
Yeah, we got one for broadcast back when they first came out, and we couldn't use it.
Yeah.
Like, it took forever for Adobe to provide drivers to be able to even use like Premiere.
Yeah, it
With
was.
it?
It was like incredibly unresponsive. I assume because it was thermal throttled almost the entire time it was on.
Right.
It was garbage,
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
but it did fit into my carry-on, and I could take it all around the world and edit on. That I do miss. I can't do that
man.
now.
That would scare me to take a computer like that in a carry-on.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems like, I guess you're the one controlling how it gets thrown around and stuff like that. I'm thinking like a check bag.
And you know what I've got on the bottom of my carry-on? Wheels.
Oh, you could just put your Mac Pro in a
Keep
carry-on?
your Mac Pro in a suitcase.
In a suitcase.
What if you could design a suitcase that had an enclosure so you could put your Mac Pro on it? That way when you're ready to travel, you just unplug it and take it with you, and you can put your
Whoa.
clothes in a compartment on top of it.
Maybe if you don't have like an afterburner card, you can fit your socks in that exact
Guys, stop
spot.
talking. These are $1 million ideas.
Yeah, we're giving away the game here.
Giving away for free.
At least $400 ideas.
Contact me for any licensing opportunities.
Sure.
There you go. I covered my bases. So
I had an experience this weekend that, Gus, I think you would have hated more than anything.
human interaction.
Almost. I was in a hotel room for this convention I was at, and somehow I got sandwiched in between 2 rooms, both hosting bachelorette parties.
Which one did you go to? Was it like the episode of Friends where you went from one and then back to the
I
other?
didn't go to any of them.
Oh God, that's my nightmare.
Yeah. And it was loud shrieking girls in one room and loud shrieking girls in the other room for probably 5 or 6 hours.
Wow.
Did you have
Luckily,
earplugs?
no, but luckily it ended
What?
around like 11:30.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because they went out and didn't return to the rooms, and maybe I was too fast asleep to hear them come back. But it was, I felt like there was a prank being pulled on me. And at one point, I heard one girl in one of the rooms go, "You go, Glenn Coco! You go!"
Glenn Coco?
Yeah, it's a Mean Girls reference.
Oh.
I was like, that's to this type of night that they're having
Yep.
here.
The
But-
only thing that would have completed that experience, I think, would be like you between 2 rooms with like bachelor parties, like yelling. Then like right out your window is a pool with like kids screaming. Because kids screaming at a pool, like they sound like they're being murdered.
Funny enough, the room across the hall had kids screaming in it.
Yay!
And every time the door would open, because they kept running out into the hallway of this hotel, they would be running and screaming and banging on the doors.
And were you like trying to go to sleep because you had an early start, or like?
Yeah, you had a long day.
Yep, just a little bit, just a little bit. So instead, I just live streamed on Instagram for a couple hours just to try to pass the time.
Mama's gonna find that sleep juice in the minibar. We'll see you guys
see you in the
tomorrow.
morning.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't complain. I mean, I wouldn't have done that, but I feel like that'd be a Barbara move to be like, complaining.
I was close, man. Luckily, it wasn't that late. Like I think it was only like 10 or 11 by the time it ended. But I was like, if this isn't done, I gave myself a time where I was like, if it's not done by 11:30 or 12, like I'm gonna call down.
There must have been people who have successfully entered parties because they are too loud. Like, hey, I'm in the room next door. I'm not sleeping, obviously. Can I come in and get messed up?
Yeah.
And I bet they've just
They have to let you in.
They have to.
They might have.
Social contract.
Right.
You got to
Social contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, I can't turn that way. I got an injured shoulder, so you can't come in.
So you can't enter.
One
Can't
time,
beat them, join them.
That's
one,
right.
One time I was years ago. I was at a GameStop managers conference in Las Vegas and had a similar thing where had a long day, was trying to go to sleep, and the room next to me was having a party in their room, and it was really loud. So first thing I did was like, it's got those adjoining doors. Like I bang on the door, and they get quiet for a couple minutes, and try to fall back asleep, and they get loud again. So then I go out, and their door's open, and I find the person whose room it is. I'm like, hey, I'm in the room next door. I'm trying to sleep. Keep it down. They're like, oh, okay, sorry. They turn it down for like 5-10 minutes, and then it gets loud again. So then I call down to the front desk. I'm like, hey, I'm in room so-and-so. There's a party in room so-and-so. They're being really loud. And they're like, oh, we're sorry. We'll take care of it. And in true Vegas fashion, in like 45 seconds, there were 2 dudes who barely fit into their suits standing at the door next door. I was watching through my people.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, everybody who's in this room needs to get out now. And sure enough, everybody gets out.
Wow. I'm sure they deal with that all the time.
Yeah. I was like, those dudes, like it seems like if they inhaled a little too much, the suits would have just like ripped off of them.
So are you typically not allowed to have parties in a hotel room?
Typically not.
Typically not. I also know some hotels, they have quiet hours, I think.
Yeah.
Like by the time like at past 9 or 10 o'clock that you can't have a certain level of volume throughout your room. But I don't know. I don't know what the policy is, especially in Vegas. I would expect they deal with that a lot more often and maybe have stricter rules or maybe more lenient rules.
How long
Probably
until
stricter? You got to pay for like a party room.
Yeah, that's true.
how long until we have like noise cancelling walls? What? What? It works in your ears.
Yeah, but it's like tuned for a specific frequency. Like if I brought out my noise canceling headphones and put them on my head, I still would have been able to hear the people in the room next door.
Well, not as much.
You just put earplugs in by that rationale.
I bet. Okay.
How long until they have walls with earplugs built in is the question you're asking.
Why don't you just stand
Just like
against
it
the
doesn't
wall?
make
They'll have
sense.
like mics in the other room, and they will take the noise and cancel it from your room.
So it's not like your fucking tampon attached to your underwear idea where you just plug your ear into the wall and it's the fucking ear plug.
I reckon that'll be a thing. It's some hipster bullshit hotel will have noise cancelling tech in their wall by 2050.
I'll be dead by then. I don't know what you're trying to shake my hand for.
You won't be dead by then.
Who's 72?
Look, the cold mailbox is already happening. It's happening.
The what?
Cold mailbox.
Don't.
What have I opened?
The cold
Cold
mailbox.
A cold mailbox. Damn, it's a
And you
cold
found
mailbox.
some nice
Gavin
cold
wanted
milk.
a solution for when he gets specifically milk delivered to his house and can't be there to bringing it inside. So he wanted a mailbox that was essentially a fridge in and of itself
Okay.
that you could put the milk specifically into.
But now they're making them. I'm pretty sure they're already making them. But now they're like, LG made a door with a cold mailbox or something.
It's not a mailbox.
It's just a little fridge.
It's a little fridge. It's a little mini fridge.
I don't know. I'm excited.
Well, couldn't they put like?
I'm not going to get one. But
So should I get my tampons delivered in there?
Yeah. Couldn't they conceivably like ship you milk in like just like a styrofoam cooler?
No,
with
that's
liquid
not-
nitrogen.
that's not good
Or
enough
with,
for Gavin.
With dry ice.
that's
needs-
really bad for the environment. You got to throw all this crap, and you got to like gas all the stuff to make it cold. What would you say? Nitrogen?
Yeah, liquid
Yeah.
nitrogen. I was gonna
That's
say
not cheap.
it's not cheap, but also wouldn't you be running power to a fridge 24 hours a day that gets used maybe 2% of the time, 1%
No
of the
pun
time?
intended.
Yeah.
Well, think about it like this: when your fridge is full, you've got overflow, right? And also, like a cooler doesn't have power, but it's still cold. So maybe you would just chuck a bit of ice in it every day.
Mind fucks with Gavin Free.
Yeah.
There's got to be a nice balance where I'm not powering. How much is it?
Okay, it's
How much electric money is going into my fridge
electric money.
to make my fridge cold for a year?
Let me
Because this fridge will be tiny.
let me get a spreadsheet together and I'll get back to you a year from now.
Are you saying that you would use it as an overflow fridge for your regular fridge? Wouldn't like somebody think that's like outgoing mail?
Well, they're gonna take my fridge and send it to take my
No,
milk.
they're gonna, like, open it
take
and
your
go, oh,
ham.
that's
Like,
cheese.
this ham has to go back to Amazon.
This ham
Someone
is
get
actually
the
just 2
Dremel
cans
case.
of Diet Coke. Shit.
I don't know. I think
No, damn it.
That's your second one this episode.
I don't know how you manage.
there's a certain height where it goes every time.
So you just need a built-in door mailbox cooler with an attachable solar panel that only powers this one piece of equipment that's built into your door that cools milk that you have delivered once a week, twice, twice.
But
a
no,
month.
then once you can get milk delivered, then you can get ice cream delivered.
True. Beer.
The thing is, and the reason I just don't drink much milk anymore. I don't even need this thing anymore. Because milk is pointless, right?
Why is milk pointless?
Oh, there's a big debate about this, I think, within some people at Rooster Teeth. I think Miles and Eddie Rivas have had this debate.
But I know that
Eddie
people are
doesn't
trying to
like
get
milk.
off milk because I feel like for a human, like once you're 10 years old, you don't need any milk. There's no benefit, like I guess calcium, but
There's no benefit to that beer you're drinking, dude.
well, I mean, I'm not there drinking milk because it's delicious.
Are you drinking that beer because it's delicious?
What about if you have
that's right.
cereal or Oreos? Is there anything
Check.
better?
Mate. Cereal and Oreos.
You can't have anything
Yeah, I
else
mean,
with them?
there's no substitute except for like other milks.
Like lactose-free milk or soy milk or almond milk.
But you
etc.
can't just put water in Cheerios.
Nope.
It's a real prison breakfast right there.
We should have like a blind taste test. What's the best liquid for Cheerios?
Oh yeah, I like that.
Like milk, water,
Orange
beer,
juice,
orange juice, Coke.
God.
You know,
chocolate milk. Oh,
Dr.
that's
Pepper.
milk.
I actually bet beer wouldn't be that bad because like plain Cheerios
man.
also taste just kind of like yeasty, weedy.
Yeah, you never
like,
had
is it-
Siberios?
I hate it.
Do you want to try to do it next week?
We're doing this next
Yes.
week.
Okay. Who's here? Gavin, are you here?
I don't know.
I
That
might have
we're
it.
in the territory of like soggy shit. I don't know if
No,
I can.
no, we'll pour it in.
It's
right
cereal,
before.
dude.
You'll do it fresh. Do it
Get
fresh.
it fresh.
Like pour it right in. You'll have the bowls of liquid. Pour the Cheerios in, and then take a scoop right away, so it doesn't have time to get
What
soggy.
about like a little cup or something?
Wait, you put the liquid in before the cereal?
I don't, but I'm saying we
Okay.
will make these exceptions for you.
To make it as little soggy as possible,
I
as
have
dry
a-
as possible.
I have
Okay,
a question
I'm
for
up
you
for it.
guys. So you got milk. You
I
got
got milk.
chocolate
Got
milk.
Milk.
How do you say that? Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Like what do you put the emphasis on?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. Chocolate milk or chocolate milk?
Is it chocolate milk
Chocolate
or
milk.
chocolate
So this
milk?
is an ongoing debate
It's-
between me and Trevor
chocolate milk.
because my argument I say chocolate milk because it's milk that's chocolate, so it's
Yes.
chocolate milk.
Correct.
And he
No,
goes,
no,
no,
no.
it's chocolate milk.
No,
Trevor's
you're right.
right.
No, Barbara's right.
I think Trevor's right.
No,
Wait, do them again. Do them again.
Chocolate milk.
You're an idiot. No, that's wrong. That's insane.
no, Barbara's right.
Putting the
But
emphasis on the,
it's milk that's chocolate,
Yeah.
so it's chocolate milk because
Correct.
chocolate is the qualifying factor.
I put emphasis on neither of the words.
Okay,
I just
what
say
about
chocolate
this?
milk.
Peanut butter, because it's butter with peanut.
But it's not
But
butter.
it's not.
I
It's
don't
its
know.
own food.
What do you mean? Well, yeah, it's not like peanuts in butter, but you don't say.
Unless.
Peanut butter. I say chocolate milk.
What
There's
about
gonna
like
be some?
cherry Coke?
Cherry Coke.
Oh,
Cherry
I'll have
Coke.
a cherry Coke. I don't even know if I put.
You put more emphasis on cherry there.
I'll have a cherry Coke. Yeah, I put the emphasis on cherry.
Cherry Coke,
Everything I've ever thought about
Chocolate
myself is
milk.
gonna lie.
chocolate milk.
But like literally
Is there
every
a gas
time,
leak in here? This is some like
We have carbon
Chocolate
monoxide
milk.
buildup.
every time
cherry Coke.
the word chocolate milk comes up between me and Trevor, it's a debate every time
Why don't you say milk chocolate?
because that's milk chocolate.
But okay, so what do you say for milk chocolate?
I say milk chocolate or
Emphasis
dark
on milk?
chocolate. Dark chocolate.
But you don't have
milk
dark
chocolate.
in your chocolate.
But it's
gotta be milk
chocolate
chocolate.
that is dark. So dark chocolate.
So you put the emphasis on the variable.
Yes,
Yes,
because that is describing
The thing.
it's a
the
modifier.
constant.
Right.
Yes, chocolate milk.
So, like a dark night.
Because he
A watchful protector.
But not a Dark Knight.
Not a Dark Knight, but a Dark Knight.
the fact that
Dark
it's-
Knight.
This is irrelevant to Batman. I'm saying like the variable is how bright or dark
Yeah,
the night
like,
is.
A dark night is a night that's not well illuminated. A dark night is Batman.
Exactly.
Yes.
A Dark Knight is the hero we need, not the one we deserve.
Rooster teeth. The teeth
Oh God.
are the constant, but it could be any animal's teeth.
Rooster Teeth.
Rooster teeth
Rooster Teeth.
or rooster teeth.
I would say that's totally different.
If you put the emphasis on teeth in Rooster Teeth, it sounds like Christopher Walken is saying it.
Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth.
Fucking shit. Anyways, let us know what you think.
Now the chat is arguing about
Batman.
Batman
Batman.
or Batman.
Batman.
Well, he's a man.
I say Batman.
Batman.
Of the,
Yeah,
he's
of the
the
Gotham Batmans.
We're all forgetting the word adjective. We're using
It's the
every other word besides adjective.
There's a road in Melbourne called Batman Road, but they say it like you said, Batman. Batman Road.
As if it's a last name.
No, it's like that. No, it's Batman Road.
Joe Batman.
Oh, of the North Austin Batmans.
Yeah, the Batmans.
people are losing their. Oh my God! Stop.
What is happening?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Can we cut from the beginning of Cold Mailbox to now and just take that chunk out?
This is the best part of the podcast. What are you talking about? This
I want
is
to
the
cut it out and watch it all the time. That was great.
This is the cut down for the social piece is going to
Yeah.
be from this conversation.
When
did
you
take
made
a
Barbara
turn.
say chocolate milk and then you called her an idiot, it was a 2-second summation of what this podcast is.
Also, Gavin, I don't know how you can call anyone an idiot when you have a beer bottle ring on your right shoulder. How did that get there?
What is there?
It's so high. Look at it.
I was holding my beer like this. And now there's a ring. I'm like a coaster.
There you go.
Towards camera. There it is.
Oh yeah, there it is.
It's like a rival.
I don't know what happened. There must have been a gas leak. It's like a rival.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got inspired
Moonball?
by a video I saw earlier today. I saw this guy. Well, I don't know if it's a guy. This person was having trouble with thieves stealing tools out of the back of their pickup truck. And so they bought like a motion activated floodlight, but it really wasn't deterring them. So they bought a motion activated sprinkler to spray water at anything that comes close to their truck at night. Like they set up a big plastic trash bin and ran a hose out to the truck and set up this sprinkler so that if someone came close, it sprayed them. The floodlight would come on and it'd spray them with water. And you know, I've been talking for a couple years now about the problems I've been having with raccoons and possums and squirrels digging up my shit. I ordered one. Like, this is perfect. I'm going to have a sprinkler that'll shoot water at animals and keep them away from my house. Right. No, I don't have to worry about, because all the solutions that people normally propose, like, I don't want to be buying fox piss anymore. I don't want to sprinkle cayenne powder all around my yard.
But that means all the shit you want to protect will be wet.
It's a lawn. I mean, what's the fucking problem here? It seems like a win-win.
Oh no, all my computers I keep out in the garden. They'll be ruined.
I see
I wheeled it
literally
out here last night.
no downside. My lawn gets watered, and I don't have animals shitting in my yard anymore. It's perfect.
It's airtight.
Yeah.
You cannot lose. Do you have like a little camera that catches these little
I do, yeah.
critters?
Critter
I
corner.
do. So that's why I know. It's like, fucking, I have this fucking fat raccoon. It's always back there.
Spray his ass.
I don't like. A couple days ago, I saw it on top of my backyard fence, and I was looking at it. I was like, I have no idea how it got up there. This raccoon looks like it can't get off the ground. It was up on the fucking like 8-foot tall fence.
Is it a fat raccoon or a fat raccoon? Sorry.
Is it a
done.
raccoon or a raccoon?
Raccoon.
Can you get it to spray fox piss?
I probably could, but I'm not gonna fucking do that. Oh,
I have a question for you guys.
all right.
We all have neighbors, whether it's in like your neighborhood or apartment or wherever it is. When you have a problem with something your neighbor is doing, how do you go about talking to them? Do you leave a note? Do you ring their doorbell?
Is it the dude with the dog?
Yeah.
Normally, I wait until I run into them. Like I see them fairly often.
But you know your neighbors already? What if you don't know them? Never met them.
I
I try to think of like what I would want someone to do. And I feel like I would want someone to leave me a note and maybe put like their contact info so I could like call them or email them.
I bet you just have to knock on the door.
What's going on, Barbara?
What is the what is the current what is the situation that is vexing you currently?
I don't want to get too detailed about what's going on, but I have a neighbor who lets their dogs pee in their backyard. Only the backyard, there's no grass. It's like a patio backyard, and they put fake grass down. And our backyard is close to theirs, so if I'm in my backyard
It just smells
area,
like dog piss.
all I smell is dog piss, especially on days where the sun is hitting it.
Just evaporating piss mist.
And so can't spend time out there without being just overwhelmed with dog piss. And I don't know how to approach the subject with them.
Well, I bet there's very little they can do because I assume when they bought the house or rented it, they were like, we need this place for
what
the
they can
dogs to
do
piss.
is spray it down with water after the dogs pee. That way you dissipate it
But where does it flow?
into the drain or something. I don't know. I don't know what their fucking layout is, but I imagine if you dilute it with water, it'll fix a lot of the problem.
Dilute some of that ammonia or whatever's in it.
I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying that there is a possible
part
solution.
of me feels like if you rent or purchase or are living in a space that doesn't have grass in a backyard and you have dogs, maybe it's your responsibility to actually take them outside to actually walk them. So
Yeah,
they
but
can
they
pee
need
there.
to go so many times in a day. It's not always, they might not have the time. Like people who live in high rises and stuff.
My backyard. This is why I'm so fucking protective of my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
My backyard did not used to have grass. I installed this lawn for this reason for my dogs. So I get fucking mad when a raccoon comes or a squirrel comes and rips my shit up because I didn't want to do what you're talking about. I didn't want to put down just some artificial shit
AstroTurf,
that's just gonna, like you said, it's just gonna collect that ammonia smell. It just introduces a new problem.
Right.
So you're right. In my opinion, the onus is on them to find a solution because I imagine they probably smell it too. Like they can't use their area.
Backyard.
Unless they are just so used to it by now that they don't even care. I don't know, but
Tell you what, you alpha dog them. You go over there. You piss on their back patio. Those
Or
dogs scare them off.
me and Trevor just start shitting on our side.
Hey, this we'll show them. This arms race, this unchecked arms race of aggression that's happening between you and your neighbors. Okay, I get it. If we set our place on fire, maybe the smoke will choke them.
Oh man, but
I would just, I think you just have to
Just leave a note.
just start with a note.
yeah, okay, I might do that. Just feel like,
But I feel like a note can be seen as aggressive because you've like pre-planned
No, I'm
it
a good
instead of being
writer.
like,
As antisocial as I am, I feel like I would almost prefer to do it in person. Like just to show like
courtesy.
yeah, like a courtesy or like that you're not being passive aggressive. Not that it is passive aggressive, but that they don't interpret it as being a passive aggressive act.
Remember how I said at the gym how I like just loudly say stuff in hopes that they'll hear me passive aggressively. So like if I ever see that they're outside, I'm like walking through the back, I go, God, it smells like piss. Just like really loudly in hopes that they'll get the message, but I don't know if they
Can you
ever
set up
hear
a
me.
bullhorn and a motion detector so anytime it detects motion in their backyard, it just automatically plays a recording saying, "Oh, it smells like piss back here."
I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I'm
that's
just so
like
awkward.
one of those lose-lose situations of being a grown-up.
Yeah.
I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know face to face is better, but like I don't even know how to like, hey,
I'll do
nice
it.
to meet you.
I'll do it. That'll be my meeting. I'll
Are you
pretend I
really
live.
offering to do this for me?
I will pretend I live there,
Okay.
and I'll be like, every time I go out in my back garden, it stinks of your dog's piss.
You could pretend you live like on the other side or something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can I do it?
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Because he's not my neighbor. I don't. Have
This
to
is
deal with
like 3 meetings, in my opinion.
it. Yeah, and if I balls it up,
Then
it's you.
Yes, so has to deal with it.
Oh,
you
that'd
could
be
go in and be a
great.
little shit.
No, I'll do it nicely. I'll put on polite. I'll do it.
Okay.
Put on polite. I think I'll put on polite clothes. I thought that's what you were about to say.
Yeah, what do you want me to wear?
Tails, tuxedo, top hat. Hello, good sir.
Did you wear a Trevor face mask? Because I'm pretty sure we've seen them before, like physically, but we just never have talked or interacted. I don't know what to do, man. I'll figure it out. I'll have an update at some point on the podcast, I'm sure.
I think like in those situations, it would help also to like, because what stinks about this situation,
Literally. Is the lawn?
piss, yes, is the like, what is the actual solution? Like, you know, if I were to like go to this person one-on-one, like, hey, your dog's piss, like really stinking up the backyard. It's hard for like us to sit back there. Could you do X, Y, and Z? Like offering like a solution or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in those situations, it helps to have like, hey, maybe we could work this out or do this if there was some kind of like,
Yeah, I thought about trying to
Option.
offer a solution, but then I don't know if it's like you're acting like they're dumb by saying you should do this, idiot.
Well, it's more of just like, hey, like we're all neighbors here. We're just like hoping to enjoy our outdoor space, and we can't because of this. And like maybe if they use it, you just like wash it down every time if you want to keep it there. But I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. It's such a strong smell.
In chat here, Alfredo's nipple had a great suggestion for what Gavin should wear when doing this.
Okay.
Alfredo's nipple.
He
Okay.
said you should wear the nose costume to really drive the point home.
That's genius.
I smell everything.
Then they gotta listen to you because they'll think you're insane.
I'm just
my
like the
God.
local sniffing superhero. Identified a problem spot. Yeah, I think you got to do it in person, Barbara.
yeah.
Because I've thought about this a lot because it's been a while that's been going on, and I even typed up something that I felt really comfortable with. That I was even in the letter I was gonna say, hey, try to knock on your door, and typed up this letter in case we missed you, but not actually knock on the door.
I feel like the modern way to do it would be to bitch on Nextdoor. That was a best of Nextdoor post about someone who wanted all of their neighbors to close their windows while they cook meat because they were vegan.
Oh, God.
And they thought the smell of cooking meat was offensive.
Cooking meat.
You having wistful daydreams over
Yeah, it
there?
sounds so good.
Yeah, I just don't know what the solution is.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution is either.
I think you gotta face to face. And I'm 50-50 on whether or not you offer a suggestion or
But even just like
don't.
maybe moving where they have the grass to the other side, so it's not close to us.
yeah, but
them
then
to
you're
move
just shifting
that
the problem to
grass.
someone else, aren't you?
Yeah, but and then when they complain, it buys some time, like until the other people. Like,
Here's the ultimate solution. Just move.
Honestly, that's probably what I do.
yeah, getting yourself in a very like Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Yeah.
Seinfeldy situation. Like, well, I just got to move. That's all there is to it.
Burn the house down.
Yeah.
Collect the insurance money, go on the lam.
True scorched earth.
Yeah.
In other news, if any of you guys know someone selling a place, no, I'm just kidding.
I think there's a few around
Yeah.
town.
Just a few in Austin. Who knows?
It's gonna be that time of year. Open house season.
Open house.
I
Season.
love open houses.
Yeah, me too.
Also,
I've thought about getting my license to be a realtor just so I can like get into houses that are listed for sale, just to see if I could let myself in to see houses.
Not actually work on
Right.
selling them to anybody or anything like that, just so you could get
Just
in.
so I could be like, oh, like I see listings like that house looks cool. I wonder what it's like.
Yeah, and I was wondering, like, does he have to meet a minimum of like you have to sell at least one house in 5 years, otherwise they revoke it?
I mean, you get a
You get a
license,
license,
but
yeah.
like, I don't think you have to like sell a house. Like, you,
Can I sell myself a house? Like list my own house and rebuy it from myself? Pay myself 3% commission? I'll cut myself a deal.
it's all the same money. God,
It's fine. It works out.
don't worry about it. It's airtight.
Don't look behind the curtain. All right. Well, let's wrap this podcast up.
Oh,
Please.
We got shit to do. All
We
right.
got the post show to do.
We got the push. Oh, I forgot to mention something. I actually do want to mention this before we go. We recorded our first episode of Black Box Down, the plane crash podcast. And,
Who was on it?
The people have to tune in and find out.
Cool.
It'll come out April 16th. It's gonna be an audio podcast and come out on podcast platforms everywhere, as that lower third says.
Why is it so far away?
We have to record a bunch. It takes a lot of research
Yeah.
to get them done, and so we
But
have
there's
to,
the pilot episode, no pun intended.
yeah. If you're a
Well,
first
it's in
member,
like, why
you can
not
listen to it now.
announce it like 2 weeks before?
so people could get excited,
Well,
baby.
because I'm excited because we just recorded one and I want to
Yeah.
talk about it. Marketing didn't tell me to do it. It was me like, hey, I want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's just
I'm excited.
that's ages away.
Well,
I'm
how
pretty
you
sure they
keep
started talking
reminding
about
people.
day 5 4 years before it came out. So just putting that out there.
All right, so that's it for real now. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.